calling you a lot radical. So, all you people that think, oh, Fukushima is nothing, yay, nuclear energy is clean, just the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. And anybody who doesn't believe that is one ignorant fool. So the taxonomy is out in the next month in Europe, and there's grandstanding, Bloomberg, all the usual suspects in the nuclear energy problem. Oh, we're going to put natural gas and nuclear in it. No, they're not. No, they're not. I'll tell you why. Because the real wealth in Europe, not the fake wealth. I want people to understand when every time you look at something that says, oh, Bill Gates and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are the wealthiest people on earth, they're not even close. And I'll tell you why. Number one, that's on paper and it's all inflated stock market. Tell Elon Musk to go sell half of his stock portfolio. The stock will crash 95%. It's on paper. They're not the richest people. The real wealth of Europe has already come out for the taxonomy. They've circled the wagons and says no nuclear. Because I'll tell you what, the old wealth there is starting to wake up and realize, oh, guess what? We get cancer too. Fukushima should have been the end. And so I gave up on the masses long ago. These videos are very targeted for my small army. I mean, we had graduation a long time ago. So I'm not doing Fukushima for dummies anymore. This is the postgraduate work. And so the artist of an entire generation. What is the genre of this last 15 years? Right here, you're looking at it. Video killed the media star. Video, we can't rewind, we've gone too far. Pictures came and broke your heart. Blame it on a VCR. So, this video I'm sending right to Ken Burns. He's our only hope. The greatest artist of an entire generation is Ken Burns. It's unarguable. Baseball metaphors. If you've never seen the baseball, and you don't have to be a baseball fan to understand this. The baseball metaphors, if you've not seen Ken Burns' 9 innings, of course, he drank the Kool-Aid on 10 innings, but, you know, this is the bottom of the 13th we're in. And we're down, you know. So Kevin Blanch swinging his baseball bat, axe handle, as a bat to a soup can. Oh, boy. So I want to talk about this because I haven't talked about it, because baseball metaphors matter. And if you haven't seen Ken Burns' 9 innings, it mirrors culture. My favorite piece is when he goes through the 80s. And Tim Raines, who, you know, the great base stealer, he says, I developed my head first aid because I had vials of cocaine in my back pocket. Didn't want to break them. I mean, what a metaphor, huh? Incredible. I mean, he's the greatest artist of an entire generation is Ken Burns. And he's starting to break ranks. He's made statements about the oligarchs, about social media, about Zuckerberg. He's made statements. He's our only hope to make a documentary, Fukushima, Kevin Blanch. You know, everybody comes to me. They used to come to me. Oh, Blanch, we want to make a documentary about you. Okay. And then they flee because it's nuclear energy and they're afraid of the nuclear energy crime syndicate. So, now stay with me. So, the baseball metaphor, the 2012 Giants. I got cancer in October of 2011, 10 years ago. Right now, I was going in and out of a coma in the LDS State Bone Marrow Transplant Center, clinging to life. It's going to give you cancer. I mean, what a epic tale, a story. It's going to give you cancer. Fukushima, going crazy, crazy, crazy. Boom. Given no chance. I have ML de Novo OS. It's pretty well on survival, but my anti-nuclearism, because Vincent Hansen, anti-nuclear, I know since I was a kid, talked Fimbo Peterson from Denmark, another anti-nuclear, taking me. You know, 2012, they finally had to cut off the chemo because it ain't working. They're like, thinking I'm going to die. I'm walking the coast, doing whatever, central line hanging on my jugular. So, it's not working. 2012, baseball mirrors. I'm following the Giants because I like Buster Posey. I mean, I like that arm. He transformed baseball. I'm like, this guy playing catcher, he's so athletic, you know, and I really paid attention. I loved that team. I liked Lincecum, you know, Sandoval. I loved that dynamic of that team. And I'm like, they're make the playoffs. They're down. They play at home in a 5-game in the NLDS. They lose the first 2 at home. I mean, they're done. They got to go to Cincinnati and win 3. Game 3. I'm in the bone marrow transplant center getting my blood work. It looks like, you know, they just bone marrow biopsied me again, went into my hip. Looks like it's over. So, game 3 is when they bone marrow biopsied me. That is the biggest miracle I've ever seen in baseball. All defense. They win that game in extra innings without an extra base hit. Buster Posey throws a guy out at third. I mean, that sliding catch that the other great Hunter Pence makes going into the fence, Pence in the fence. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, defense like I've never seen in the history. It was a miracle they won that game. I mean, a total miracle. I'm like, they got a chance. So the next game, I'm in the bone marrow trance. It's game 4. They'll never win that. Oh, they won it. You know, so I'm game 5. I'm waiting for the biopsy to come back. I'm in there. You know, I'm nervous. I'm shaking. I'm so nervous. The TV's on. It's 2012 Giants. Grand slam. Oh, yeah. Buster Posey. Out of there. I'm like, that's when I knew I had a chance. And the doctor come in. She had tears in her eyes. She says, we see a little hope in there, Kevin. We're going to plan a new plan. I met with Julie Ash, who was born the same day as me. All these doctors in NLDS East State. And we come up with a plan. Kevin, we're going to try something different with you. It's experimental. You know, which I was all in. I said from the beginning, I'm not taking a call third strike. I'm going down swinging. And so they cut off all the, you know, no more chemo. Rip me open, pour me out. The chemo worked my valve. But anyway, you know my path. I went to California, walked the entire coast. And a lot of doctors says I would die out there. And I says, good, what a place to die. Drip into the sea, Jeffers. Robin Jeffers, my favorite. The tides are in our veins. That's my greatest quote he ever said. And I knew that. And I did it. Shivering, cold, sleeping bag, no food, no money, no water, no nothing. And I'm like, just going to go out there, and if I die, I die. Just kept on walking. Be in the freaking wells and the sills and the sea lions and this, what was left of them. Was we were all dying at the same time. Together. We'll go down together. We, from the sea, it's the ecology. They get down 3-1 in the National League Championship to them Cardinals. Oh, they came back again. Like Kevin Blanch came back. They split my chest open. The chemo wore my valves, split me open again. Oh, I made an incredible comeback again in 2017. It's like she says, my nurse, she says, you've beat the 2 biggest monsters. Well, the third one I got to beat, nuclear energy. My doctor says, I like all these trolls and the nuclear energy who's hired all these people to slander you and attack you all over the internet and get in your face and go crazy on you. They don't know you've been fighting the biggest bully on the face of the earth. My nurse says, oh, you mean the nuclear energy crime syndicate? And both me and my doctor said this simultaneously in symphony. No, AML de novo, OS, leukemia. First one to do it without a bone marrow transplant, documented. I'm sure there's probably others, but the documented. He won the Triple Crown for the Tigers since Ted Williams, the San Diego kid. He broke Ted Williams. He finally did it. He didn't break Ted Williams' record, but he's the first one to do it. Giants swap him. So I'm sending this Ken Burns to the bottom of the 13th. Kevin Blanch, nuclear energy. I was given no chance. Less than 1% chance. That's a 1% bracelet. You know, go talk to my doctors. They'll tell you. Kevin Blanch is the biggest miracle in micro. Now, Vincent has since retired. Just recently, the greatest. He saved my life. He saved my life. Those great nurses from Weber State in the top of LDS, Slick, all those doctors, the maids, everybody that fought for me in those early days. And Mike Lee kicked me out of Medicaid. What a fight it's been, huh? If you don't think my cancer fight mirrors freaking culture, my place in time, Albert Einstein. What would that's me and my grandson's thing we always play. What would Einstein say? Your place in time, the elasticity of time. Just go with it. And so, the bottom of the 13th, 2012 Giants. They'll always be my favorite team forever now. Ever! Ever! Game 3 in the NLDS, the greatest miracle in baseball history. The greatest defense. I'll never forget that throw from the plate that nailed him at third. No extra base hits, no nothing. They win in the bottom of the 10th. They had life. Teeny, just like Kevin Blanch. Dr. Mitchell says, in the bone marrow, we see a teeny, teeny flicker of maybe hope. Well, I went with it. Alive and kicking! You know, the nuclear energy and crime syndicate. Oh, they're no match for Kevin Blanch and his small army. And we don't believe in violence. We fight with our mind. My father, who was nuked to death in Nevada, test that. Boy, shut the fuck up and get to work. You're way too pretty to have an opinion. I knew what he meant. I was not born with these scars across my